Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dudan Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the good practice, Mahajundi Buddha Mother. Sumu Danzan Gatso, Tupten Siti, Tupten Karma. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here over the internet. Good evening.
你好，大家好。先做感恩。愛してる。シャラネ。オラミコ。ケケロムチョ。すごい。一番。気持ちいい。準備。やっプリンプリン。こんばんは。
No difference. Should be good. Gonna ask Michael.
Test. See, my voice is a lot louder.
See,
it's still soft. Cannot hear.
所以今天一开始就你问我答。马来西亚莲花会师问的。
Question from Malaysia. I think some problem here with the voice. I can't barely hear Grandmaster.
愿师佛体安康，长寿自在，常
with
住世
reference,
间。
I pay homage to the Grandmaster Guru Buddha. May
弟子
you
要
be
请示以
healthy,
下的
live a
问
long
题，
life, and stay in the world.
请求师佛慈悲给予开示。
I'd like to ask the following
因为
question
师
and
佛
please
前世
compassionately
很多事
advise.
都是密教的祖师，
It is known that in many past lives you were patriarch of
而弟
Tantrayana.
子听闻有人说本宗
I
弟
have
子
heard that some people
离开
say
生活中以后，
that if a disciple leaves the true
到
Buddhist
师
school
尊前世
and
所在
instead
的
take
宗
refuge
派
and studies Dharma
去
in the
皈依
lineage of
邪
school
往，
where you once appeared in a past life, they still
还
retain
是
your
一样有
lineage and
师
blessings.
佛的传承。请问师佛，这个观念是不是正确？
So we'd like to ask Grandmaster, is this view correct?
因为师尊以前有很多事，有
Grandmaster
时候在日本，
has many past lives,
有
sometimes
时
in
候在别的
Japan,
国家，
sometimes in other countries,
甚至有时候在非洲，
sometimes in Africa,
甚至有时候在这个特别
and sometimes in Tibet,
现在梅兰腔了，特别
in mainland China,
过去式。
past lives.
那他离开生活中以后呢，
And
到了
after
师
he
尊
left
前
True
世的
Buddhist school
宗派，
and went to
去皈
school
依
from
邪法，
past life
一样有师佛的传承。
And is it true that he still holds Grandmaster's lineage?
这个观念对不对？
Are this correct?
不对。这怎么解释啊？我问一下那个活菩萨，对不对？
Let's consult the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
他离开正佛宗以后，到
After
别
he
的宗
left to
派去
Buddhist
学皈
school
依学
and
法，还是一样有师佛的
went
传
to a
承。
different school, does he still hold Grandmaster's lineage?
Next.
Right.
是这样子的。
So it's like this.
就好像那个
Yeah, it's still too slow.
同样是钱
It's slightly better.
，money， 同样是钱，那真的是有分别。同样是钱，其实钱，你有钱，
All the same about
当
money.
然你可以换很多的国家，你可
And
以换，
you can
可以有
change
交换，
to many other countries'
但是不对
currency.
等的。也有很多的国家的钱是不能够换的。
But that's because you cannot change to some or
例
many
如
other countries.
是布鲁内文莱的钱，文莱的钱跟马来西亚、新加坡应该可以换吧？
Okay. Then can you do that when you?
可以换哦，
No, but if I
跟新加坡钱对等，是可以换的。但是
like you cannot
美国就
change
不能换
into
了，
Brunei, but you can change into
美国就不
Singapore.
能换了。
Oh, but the Brunei currency you cannot change in America.
同样都是钱，但事实上也是有区别，是有差别。但是同一个时间，同样的钱，它本身就有差别。
Because it's already taught, and this is already.
你现在拿那个
And
以前古代的钱，
say if you take
你拿古代的钱来换现代的钱，可以换吗？不能，已经不行，隔代，隔了2代。你看美金也有什么？美金大部分来讲，大头小头，不管你什么头，
Today, I'm so sorry. We don't know what happened.
大头的，
you don't know that's Max over there too.
小头的，
It's weird.
都可以换。同一个，
Oh no.
可以讲是同一个传承。 那你
You
小头的拿到台湾去要换，
say different
就不能换。
bills, like US dollars, there's
台
some
湾只
with
用大
the
头，
smaller head, right? And you
你那
cannot
个拿小头
exchange
的
that in Taiwan.
到银行去要换钱，没有。
They don't accept
每一个
those.
国家已经变成不同。同样一个道理，
The same concept.
你不管在很旧的以前的这个袁世凯的那个，你
Say
拿
the
袁世凯的
very
那个
old
钱，
money from a century ago.
很大的那个大头，拿到现在来要换，可以换吗？
And can you exchange that nowadays?
已经不可以了。
It's
朝代
not
不同，
allowed. This is also max. That's the max.
然后在古代用贝壳当钱，
And
贝壳当钱在用。
in the
我
ancient
们现在
time,
拿
they
贝壳
use
去换，
shell. They use shell.
就不通了。以前的钱呢，叫孔方兄。什么叫孔方兄？以前的
There's
钱
no voice, right?
中间有一个孔，四方方的。
So in the past, the coin has a square hole
那个钱
in
现
the
在可以用吗？
center. Can you use such money
不可
now?
以啊。
No, you can't.
啊，传承也是这个样。
So it's the same with the lineage.
隔个朝代，已经隔了那么多的代，
If it's across
能够用。
generation or dynasties, sometimes
那何必多此一举呢？ 你就不要离开就好。
I apologize. I don't know what happened to the system today.
你到了天台山，
If you go to
天台
Mount
宗啊，
Tiantai,
第一代祖师是谁？
and the first patriarch of Tiantai School,
我知道第三代祖师是智者大师啊。
I know the third patriarch was
天
the
台
great
宗
master
整
Zizhi.
理天台宗的华本，最完整的就是智者大师。
The most
第二代祖师
complete
是谁？
sadhanas from the Mount Tiantai, Tiantai School
两个会，
is compiled by Master Zizhi. And the second patriarch was Hui Wen.
但是慧能是禅宗的祖师。慧文，第二代祖师是慧文吧？
Hui Wen.
啊，慧文曾经转世到日本，变成圣德太子。
He reincarnated in Japan as the Shitoku prince.
他变成圣德太子。啊，圣德太子曾经讲：“我是中
And
国的
the
和
prince
尚，
Shitoku once claimed
转世
that
到日本。
he was a reincarnation of a Chinese monk.
天台宗的这个
Reborn
第二代
in
祖
Japan.
师慧文，
The second
他就想
patriarch
说
of Tiantai School.
我要转世到日本去。
Hui Wen, patriarch Hui Wen, stated that he wanted to be reincarnated in Japan.
那圣德太子，你去皈依了圣德太子，你就学到天台宗的法吗？
And
没有
then
啊。
if you go to Prince Shotoku, do you
就
receive
是个
the
转来转
Dharma
去，才
from
隔代
Tiantai
而已。
School? No. They just transform back and
这
forth.
个是
But it's across different
很多的
births or generations, right?
啊，例如这个日本的空海大师，
Examples like the
他到了
Kobutaishi
长安，
from Japan who went to Chang'an.
这个在这个 惠国老和尚那里得到传承。
And received the lineage from the Venerable Elder 惠
这
国。
最澄，他到了
And 最澄
这个天台山，
went to
得
Mount
到天
Tentai
台山的
and
传承
received the lineage
啊，
from
天台山的密教的传承，
Mount
台密，一个台密，
It's called
就
the
是
Thai
这个
Tantrayana.
东密，
or
两个
Japanese
传承就不
Tantrayana.
一样。
They are two different
同样是中国，
lineages, although they all came from China.
天台山的密宗
So
跟
the
长安
Tantrayana
这个
from
慧可
Mount
的这个密
Tentai
宗
and
宗密就不同。
the Chinese Tantrayana from Huike, the patriarch, the fifth patriarch,
同样都是中国
or
的
the
密宗，
patriarch Huike
一个
was
是宗
different.
密，一个是台密，
So they are Japanese
两
Tantrayana,
个
Chinese Tantrayana.
两个的传承就不一样了。一
That
个是学
have
的
two different
天台宗的密
lineages.
宗，一个是学着
One studied
那
the
个在长
Thai
安惠国老和尚
Tantrayana, and the other one
有
went to
不空
Chang'an,
三藏，
received from the
跟这
Venerable Elder
个善
Huike
无畏，跟金刚智，
and Subhakaram
唐
Singha
朝开元
Vajrapati
之间
Amimuga,
三大士
the three
传
great
下来的
masters
密宗，
of the established of
就
the
是宗密，
Tantayana. That's the lineage from those three great
通通都不
masters
同。
who founded the Chinese Tantayana.
所以菩萨
To
也有
the
隔
Venerable
代之
Elder
名，
Huike to Kubodaishi.
虽然是一个菩萨，但是他转世了以后，
Even a
他
Bodhisattva
就隔了一个朝代，
also
又不一样。
go
所以不能讲
across
说
different rebirths.
你跑去
They would
所
be
有的
different as soon as
宗
they
派
are
里面
reborn.
啊，师尊以前在这里，
So you cannot say
过
that
去是在这里，你还是有
in the
中国
past
宗的传
life
承，
Grand
那怎么
Master
可能？
was somewhere and then you say that you still have the true Buddha
啊，
lineage.
跟大
That's
家这
not
样解释，
possible.
应该清楚。
I hope you're clear about that.
你现在拿着古代的钱贝壳
Now,，if you're
啊，你就要
holding
到银行去换
ancient
钱，
money, like say the seashell, and you go to the bank to
你要把你
exchange
抓
for
去精神医院。
current money, you would be put
你哪
into
说
a
中国的那
psychiatric
个以前的古代的钱呢、中间有一个孔，有没有？
and the ancient Chinese
那个叫孔
money
方兄。
have a coin
以前
and
讲钱就是孔方兄，
a hollow
一个孔
square at the
四四方
center.
方的，叫孔方兄，就是钱。
It's the kind of money that
你
you
那个
can,
钱现在也没有用了，
but now
除了古董
it's
商
no
会给你
use.
收购以外，
Only the
其他的
antique
都没有用。
shops may be accepted, but not the rest of the places.
好，我们讲笑话吧。
Now let's share a joke.
历史老师问小明：“你考历史为什
The
么交白
history
卷？”
teacher asked Xiaoming
小明
why.
就回答：“因为我不想改写历史。
Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm too late. It's a joke. ”
这个女儿问老爸：“老爸，我问你哦，
The daughter
那
asked
天我带来的那个男朋友怎么样？”
What do you think of
老
my
婆讲：“
boyfriend?
不行，根本不
And dad
行。
said, no way. ”
女儿问：“为什么不行呢
And the daughter asked why.
他说：“你那个男朋友啊，
Your
酒品很
boyfriend
差，也没有什么信用，
cannot drink
喝多了
and
竟然说要带我去
and after
找
drinking
美眉。
a bit more, he said that he's
我这
taking
辈
me
子
to
最痛恨的
get some
就是
girls.
讲话不算数的。
And what I hate most in my life is those who doesn't keep their promise.
这个再讲一个吧。
明显了就
病人讲，我听不见声音了，连自己的放屁的声音都听不到。
sound. I can't even
医
hear
生
myself
吃这个
farting.
药或许有用。
And doctor said, maybe
病人
this
讲，这
medicine
个
will
药
help.
吃这个药耳朵就好了吗？
So after
医
taking
生
this
讲，
medicine, would my
它会
ears get
让你
better?
放屁声音大一点。
It will just let you fart louder.
好了，我们讲
Okay.
眼睛，
Now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra.
很讨厌的经典，
This sutra is quite a nuisance.
实在是不想讲的，
I really don't like to explain it.
因为你没有这种经验，
Because without the
怎么讲都不
experience,
通嘛。
no matter how it's explained, it will not be understood.
你怎么讲都可以通，
But once you have the experience,
没有这种经
and no
验，
matter how it's explained, it will be understood. But without the experience,
你体会不出它的真。
even when you hear it, you cannot understand its truthfulness.
现在阿难尊者说了，
So now Ananda said,
我今以此从可讲堂，
here in this multi-storied lecture hall,
恒河，
whether I look far to the Ganges River
即
or
所
up
所
at the
指，
sun and moon,
中目所观，
everything I point to with my hand or gaze upon with my eyes are all objects. None of them is seeing itself.
师尊
Well, honored
我
one,
所说，
just as you have said,
况我有肉出邪身闻，
how could I, a Sravaka still bound by defilements or outflows, and even the bodhisattvas
出精见，
cannot possibly extract the pure seeing from among all phenomena as something with the nature of its own.
阿难尊者就讲了，我今天
So Ananda said,
在这个
today
讲堂里面，
I'm inside this lecture hall.
这个给孤独园
Anathapindika's
一
lecture
共有
hall.
7座讲堂，
There are a total of 7
7座
halls
讲堂，给孤独园里面有
inside the Anathapindika monastery, 7 to 8,
叫重阁讲堂，
multi-storied lecture hall.
可以看到对面就是很
And across you can see the Ganges River.
你在给孤独园，你可以往上看，
So in the Anathapindika, you can look up and see the sun and the moon.
举手所指，用手去指
And
太阳，
using your finger to point to the sun and the moon, and what the eyes see are all
全部都是
objects
东西，
or things.
全部都是东西呀、
They're all
我们现在
things.
看到了，也全部都是东西呀、
Now what we see are all things.
这是麦克风，
This is a microphone.
师尊穿的这个
What
是
Grandmaster
没有龙的
wears
龙袍，
is a dragon robe without dragons.
这是喇嘛裙，
This is the Lama robe.
这是香袋
This is the monk's bag.
啊，前面是那个天宫炉，
And in front there's an incense burner, and behind there are the Buddha images, and all the
还有
eyes
是
see,
光明灯，
those
那
are
你
the
眼睛
blessing
所看到
lights.
的都是东西呀、
So everything that you see are all objects or
不是
things,
见者，
not
并没有
the
这
seeing
个好像
itself
是说那个妙明真
or
心、
the
啊，
wondrous luminous true mind.
你没有看到妙明真心吧？
So you can see the wondrous luminous true
啊，
mind.
释迦牟尼佛啊，像佛所讲的，
So Sakyamuni Buddha, as you, the Buddha
阿
has
难尊
said,
者只是一个有肉出
Ananda
血的声闻，
is just a Sravaka,
他是烦恼
a
还没有断尽，
beginner, still bound by
还是有
outflows or
叫做有
defilements.
肉，
He's still afflicted, so that's called he still has
烦恼断
outflows.
尽，
Only when you exhaust all your afflictions, then you're called non-leaking. Anyone here is non-leaking, which means has no afflictions whatsoever? That you're completely without any afflictions. There should be someone. The retarded ones. They don't understand anything, so they have no afflictions. But generally speaking, everyone still have leakages or outflows, which means they have not attained exhaustive outflows. So, non-leakages in the body and mind. The non-leakages in the mind means you have no afflictions at all. So Ananda said that himself that he's a beginner to learn Sravaka Yana, which is the lesser vehicle. The Dharma, the Buddha Dharma of the lesser or smaller vehicle, Sravaka Yana. And there are also Pratyekayana and Bodhisattva Yana and Buddha Yana, or the vehicles of the Buddha. Those are the four Sechli realms. At the lowest level is the Sravaka Yana. And even the Bodhisattvas, the great Bodhisattvas, cannot possibly, in front of all objects or things, manifest the wondrous luminous true mind. That they have their own nature apart from all things or objects. But apart from all objects, there is no wondrous luminous true mind. That's what he said. And the Buddha responded, so it is, so it is. What does that mean? So it is. That's how it is. What you said was right. Everything that you see is things, and you cannot see the wondrous luminous true mind. All the Sravakas cannot see the wondrous luminous true mind. And even the Bodhisattvas, all Bodhisattvas also cannot see the wondrous luminous true mind. Sakyamuni Buddha said, so it is, just right. That's what it meant. Then Sakyamuni Buddha repeated to Ananda, as you have said, there is no pure seeing apart from all things that has its own nature. Then among all the objects you pointed to, none of them is seeing. Now let me ask you again. Here you sit with the Tathagata in the Jeta Grove, and as you look at the forest, the garden, up to the sun and moon, though all appearances are different, not a single one among them is the pure seeing receiving your pointing. But now, can you point out and identify which of these things is not seeing? Ananda said, I do indeed see this entire Jeta Grove all around me, yet I do not know which among them is not seeing. Why? If the tree is seeing, then how can I see the tree? If the tree is not seeing, then how can it still be called a tree? In the same way, if space is not seeing, how can it be perceived as space? But if space is seeing, then how can it still be called space? Thinking further, I realize among all these myriad phenomena, even down to the subtlest detail, there is nothing that is not seen. That is not seeing. So Sakyamuni Buddha said, that's right. And Sakyamuni Buddha repeated to Ananda, what you said, that you cannot see the wondrous luminous true mind. And apart from all objects, there is also self-nature. But apart from all things, there is no wondrous luminous true mind. Now, you use your hand to point to all the things that you point to. None of them is the wondrous luminous true mind. But now let me tell you again. You and the Tathagata sit in the Anattapindika's inside, and you can see the trees, the monastery, the sun, the moon, all different appearances or phenomena. But you cannot see the wondrous luminous true mind. Everything that you point with your finger is not the wondrous luminous true mind. And you can feel that of all these things, which one is not seeing? So everything is wondrous luminous true mind. So Ananda said again, I do indeed see this entire Anattapindika all around me, but I do not know which among them is not seeing. What is that is not the wondrous luminous true mind? Why is it? Because if the tree is not seeing, when you see a tree, it is not the wondrous luminous true mind. How can you see the tree? Because you can only see due to the wondrous luminous true mind. So how come you see the tree? But if the tree is wondrous luminous true mind, then what is the tree? So what is the tree? In the same way, if space or sky is not the wondrous luminous true mind, then how can one see the space or the sky? But if the sky is wondrous luminous true mind, then why is it called the sky or space? So now I'm thinking, Ananda, among all these myriad phenomena, even down to the subtlest detail, there is nothing that is not seeing. So of all the things, mountain, rivers, and the great earth, and everything on it, they are actually all the wondrous luminous true mind. The wondrous luminous true mind. So going back and forth. And the Buddha said, exactly so, exactly so. That's how it is. What you said was right. At that moment, even those in the great assembly who were beyond learning were bewildered upon hearing the Buddha's words. They were confused, unable to grasp the meaning from beginning to end. All at once they became alarmed and unsettled, losing their composure. The Tathagata, knowing that their spirits were shaken and their minds disturbed, felt compassion for them. He comforted Ananda and the entire assembly, saying, "Good man, the Supreme Dharma King speaks words of truth. What has been spoken is just as it is, neither deceptive nor false. It is not like the false and confused speculation or the four kinds of immortal doctrines taught by Makali." Reflect on this deeply and do not let your sincere yearning be in vain. So Sakyamuni Buddha said, "Ananda, what you said was right." So at that moment, the audience in the assembly who have not truly enlightened, which were many of them, upon hearing Sakyamuni Buddha's words, became confused and could not understand, even after hearing so much. All of a sudden they became alarmed, nervous, confused, and losing their composure, become dumbfounded, muddle-headed. So the Tathagata, knowing that their spirits were shaken, that all the audience, heart, mind, felt confused, did not know what's the real meaning of all that. And they felt very unsettled and fearful. So Sakyamuni Buddha felt compassion for them, comforted Ananda and all the audience, saying, "Good man, you're all good spiritual cultivators." Referring to himself as the Supreme Dharma King, the Buddha speaks words of truth. Only speak truthfully. What has been spoken is the wondrous, luminous, true mind. Neither deceptive or false. It's not a lie. It's not like Makali's. We can say that he's holding the view of the heretics, false and confused speculation of the four kinds of immortal doctrines, which I'll explain later. So reflect on this deeply and do not let your sincere yearning be in vain. So do not lose your aspiration for the ultimate truth, for the Buddha Dharma. You wish to understand and gain the Buddha Dharma, but you don't understand. So Makali's four kinds of immortality. So Sakyamuni Buddha is giving Dharma teaching and said that what I say is true. I don't lie or deceive you. But there are differing views of the heretics, four kinds of views. Now let's first talk about reincarnation. they have never experienced reincarnation, those people, when they were alive. But how did they teach the reincarnation? They thought that they believed that what they thought with their mind is reincarnation. So they only think about it in their brains and then teach everyone. That's wrong. Talking about the three evils, about good and bad. That's the second, talking about good and bad. It's neither good nor bad. This kind of concept, what is good, what is bad, there's nothing to say about it. So that's incorrect views in India. There were 4 kinds. And one more, many of their viewpoints are from other people's words. And then when they think that, that makes sense to them, and then they start talking about it themselves, but they never experience them themselves. They have never underwent the reincarnation or birth and death. So their concept or principle about birth and death is not normal, it's not right. Sometimes it's just something that they think of with their brain. Or sometimes they heard it from other people and they accepted it and then repeated it to others. It's not their own experience. So issues about birth and death, about cause and effect, about good and bad, about reincarnation, were all thought about by themselves or heard from other people, and then they followed and repeated it to others. So they're not the right views. Like Sakyamuni Buddha said that his teaching is the only one that's right view. But what's spoken by others, like those by the heretics, are not necessarily right. Some heretics said that upon death there is nothing, and then people believe that. Then there would be no cause and effect. No cause and effect. And there's nothing called good or bad. What is reincarnation or rebirth? And they don't know unless you experience it yourself. That's spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha. This was spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha. Confusing speculations or incorrect viewpoints, 4 kinds. Only Sakyamuni Buddha's is the right viewpoint. The rest are just thought about by the brains and then or spoken by people, and then they followed and copied and to say the same thing. So in reality you should know yourself. Look like the Surangama Sutra. One example, the chapter on the gathering of the split bodies. So Sakyamuni Buddha has many numerous split bodies or emanation bodies, and they all together went to the Triatrimsa heaven, and many of the split bodies gathered to become one Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, all together listening to the teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha. That's the chapter on the gathering of the split bodies in Siddhigarbha Sutra. So only when they have enlightenment that they have split bodies. If they have not gained enlightenment, how can they have split bodies? And now we call it Dharma bodies. Dharma bodies. So any of you here who have seen Grandmaster's Dharma bodies? Anyone have seen Grandmaster's Dharma bodies? Give her the microphone. Let her say a few words. Those who have seen Grandmaster's Dharma bodies.
Grandmaster, many times when I was living in California prior to coming to the temple, I would be doing Guru yoga and join union with you, and it seemed like you never left me. I got up, went into the shower, you came with me. I would get in my car to go to work, and you would be in the seat with me, and you would speak to me many, many times, and you gave me lots of directions on how to get here and what to do. And even when I had no money, I had time. You said, "You're going to be coming." And I said, "What? I have no money. It's after Christmas." And I came here, it was December 31st on New Year's, 2023. It was about 2 years after I took refuge. I got off, or done with you, speaking to you in meditation. And I said, I have no money. How am I going to get to see Grandmaster? And I went in the other room, and all of a sudden I picked up the phone, and I was telling my sisters about this today. It was as if somebody else was channeling the information. I called my mom, and I said, "Hey, Mom, do you want to go up to see Grandmaster?" She doesn't even know who Grandmaster is. She just knows he healed me because I was in a wheelchair, a walker in a cane, and he healed me. And so she said, "I'll give you my credit card." And she gave me the money and the stuff to come up and see you that time. So every time I just have faith that you're going to take care of everything for me to come see you.
So, Master Lian Chuan, please translate.
师姐跟师尊报告是说，
This is the translation into
在
Chinese.
修法，其实他认为他的经验里面，无时无刻师尊都是在他身边的。在修法中，师尊也会显现跟他合一的，然后也会跟他指示，然后即使他去洗澡，师尊也是跟他在一起。然后他如果去开车的时候，师尊的法身也在车子里面，然后会跟他在一起，跟他指导他很多事情。然后他讲说，他是2021年皈依的，因为2023年的时候他才皈依2。然后那时候他本来他是坐在轮椅上的，然后走路的时候需要用拐杖，但是师尊他皈依了师尊的加持，所以他康复就可以走路。然后那个时候他没有钱，但是他很想来。2023年的12月31号，他很想来西雅图见师尊。然后他就在想说，他没有钱，那怎么来见师尊？这个时候呢，他觉得他感受到，好像是师尊佛菩萨在帮他引导，然后呢，通过别种途径，然后他就跟他妈妈讲说他想来，结果呢， 结果他妈妈本来不认识师尊的，他就跟他的妈妈介绍以后，他妈妈说好，没问题，你可以用我的信用卡，所以他就可以来西雅图见师尊。所以他讲的意思是，从他皈依到现在，无时无刻师尊的法身都是跟他在一起，指导他在禅定中指导他，在生活中指导他，而且帮助他度过很多困境的。阿弥陀佛。
And Eating's mom, would you like to say a few words? This time on the way to Seattle, we were on the plane, and all the way I was chanting the Guru mantra. And then we took photos, and we saw on the plane there is a circle of light surrounding the plane all the way. And then Grandmaster's Dhamma body is always giving me blessings and accompanying me all the time. And for how long has it been since you saw the Dhamma bodies? It's about 4 to 5 years ago till now. So from 4 to 5 years ago till now. And it's the same, it's never separate. As soon as I think of Grandmaster, Grandmaster is always there. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else would like to speak? Thank you, Grandmaster. I took refuge in the year 2000, and Grandmaster was living in seclusion there, in retreat. And Grandmaster made a mark of home on my palm. And ever since I took refuge, I often dream of Grandmaster. And then one time, when Grandmaster had some leg pain, I told Grandmaster that I saw a huge Grandmaster. It's taller than the 101 building. I only saw the toe and giving blessing Grandmaster. So this left a deep impression, and Grandmaster is omnipresent. Sometimes I often practice at home or in Japan or any other countries. When practicing, I was thinking and not thinking, but as soon as I invoke Grandmaster, I would feel my heart chakra very warm, very touched, and Grandmaster is always blessing me and my 2 sons, the older one in Taiwan, the younger one in Japan, and also the pandemic. Grandmaster and Simu came to see me and my siblings, and I have reported to Grandmaster too. And Grandmaster had manifested extremely many miracles on me.
I'm sorry, my Chinese is not really good, so I will explain in English. So I have a bad life, really bad and heavy life. So usually at night I cry and then asking Sisun to come to me and then give me a jiazi.
Give me blessing.
Usually Sisun just came to my bed and give me jiazi
Sichun bring me to, I think Sichun the Leijang Si.
Sujun brought me to the temple.
Queuing with other people, then I'm asking, who are you? They say they are Odai people who queuing for get jiazi from Sichuan. It's the first time I
The
came to
dead people
Sichuan,
who
the
were
Leijang Si.
queuing to get blessing from
Yeah, that's
Grandmaster.
all.
My first time going to the Litang temple. Her English is very difficult to translate because she spoke with strong accent. This is the translation into Chinese.
晚上的时候，他睡觉以前，他都会哭着在喊师尊来加持他。真的有一个晚上呢，他就看到师尊来加持他，然后他讲说，师尊带他来西亚，师尊带他来师尊的雷藏寺，因为他讲的很简短啊，我听的是这样子。然后呢，就跪下来跟很多人在那边祈求师尊的加持。他说那是他第一次来师尊的雷藏寺，他没有讲得很清楚是哪个雷藏寺哦，对不起。所以这是他第一次这个经验，就是这个，就是师尊带他来雷藏寺，这是他所讲的，然后就得到师尊的加持。阿弥陀佛。
尊尊莲生陀佛弟子来自台湾的莲花
Grandmaster Living Buddha Linsung, I came from Taiwan.
雷藏寺
First time to come
决定
to Seattle Lijiang Temple.
买机票。
I decided in May
决
and
定的时候就看到法身，
bought
就看
the
到
ticket last minute. And then when I made that decision, I saw Grandmaster's Dhamma body
摩顶加持。
in the sky giving
这一次
me, your disciple, blessing on the
莲
head.
花甚至也是第一次，
So
所以
this
来到西亚
this is my first time to come to Seattle,
顺利利的
and everything went very smoothly
谢
to come here. Thank you, Grandmaster, for your blessing.
好，师
Oh,
尊，
okay, go ahead.
大家好。
Grandmaster,
不太记得大概什么时候跟到师尊发生。
I don't remember when I started to see Grandmaster's Dhamma bodies last year. I was chanting Guru Mantra
尤其是
more and more,
每次要来
and especially every time coming to Seattle before spiritual consultation on the plane, I would chant 1,080 times on the plane. And every day I would chant Guru's mantra.
念师尊心咒手，师尊就会
And
出现。
on the way
那一开
to
始
and
师尊
from
发生
work,
大概怎么
Grandmaster would appear. And at first it was this big,
这么大？
and then one day it became that big.
有一天在念师尊心咒的时候，
And one
就是
time,
天
one
上下
day,
了金光下来，
when I was chanting Guru Mantra, there were golden lights from the heavens giving blessing to Grandmaster, and Grandmaster became a statue just like on the altar there.
来到西雅图，
I did not know then, and until I come to the Seattle
太多人，
temple,
师尊就跟这个
because Master Lin Chi said there were too many people, I couldn't get in, and he told me to pray to this Buddhist statue.
看到的一样。
And then I looked, and oh, the same as I saw on the plane.
大概是两
That's
个
the
月
one I
前
saw on the plane. And then one day, about 2 months ago, I saw Grandmaster's Dhamma bodies, and every day is different.
笑得很大。
And one time, Grandmaster laughed very broadly, and one time, he's like the one in Kalachakra ceremony in Malaysia with wearing 10 wings and earrings and laughing very happily. And seeing that, I also felt very happy. And what's very special is when I chanted the 1,000 mantra, Grandmaster was suffering from eczema, and we were all very worried and concerned. So after chanting the 1,000 times, I visualize Guru Padmasambhava radiating light upon Grandmaster to purify Grandmaster's karmic sequences. And then all of a sudden, I saw Grandmaster's Dharma body, and the skin, from the skin post, there were many worms like snakes coming out. And I did not know what it meant. And then I asked Dharma Sister Zhongyi, so what did it mean that I saw lots of bugs coming out from Grandmaster's pores? That's right, because that's eliminating Grandmaster's eczema. And then when I met Grandmaster in the spiritual constellation room, I told Grandmaster that your eczema will be cured. Thank you. Those who see are all lay practitioners and not the ordained monastics. Anybody ordained would like to speak? Anybody else? Microphone. Amitabha, Homitsu Grandmaster. I'd like to speak on the Siddhigarbha's split bodies. Last week, when Grandmaster was performing Padma Kumara Homa, I saw Padma Kumara descended and in union with Grandmaster to become the white Maha Padma Kumara, and to attract all the Padma Kumaras to come back and to be in union with Grandmaster. So Grandmaster has great power. So these kinds of things in in our real world is impossible to occur. And I use this to make analogy of the wondrous luminous true mind. So to mean that the wondrous luminous true mind is for you, cannot be seen, but it can manifest. So cannot be seen, but it can manifest. But it is beyond imagination. It is unimaginable. So all the seeing is extraordinary seeing. It's not the ordinary seeing. It's not like what you normally see. In a specific time, specific moment, or you can see the Dhamma bodies all the time, the split bodies. So we can say that this is the light of your own heart that radiates, or we can say the emission of the heart light. When the light of your heart is emitted, then you can see. But you cannot see with your physical eyes the light of the heart. But sometimes the physical eyes can also see. Why? Why? Because at that time, your physical eyes are also the wondrous luminous true mind, but they are also not wondrous luminous true mind, but they are also your wondrous luminous true mind. They are and they are not. There are many special things or occurrences at any time. One time, I was on the plane
回台湾的半路上，
on the way back to Taiwan.
眼睛闭着，
My eyes were
都
closed,
快睡着了。
almost falling asleep.
我的前面跪着一个人，
And in front of me, someone was kneeling
我飞机的座位前面跪着一个人。
right in front of my seat on the plane.
我问说你怎么了？
So I asked him, "What's going on?
他不说话，
What's up?" He didn't say anything,
只是用手
and used his hand
上空。
to point to the sky,
他
point
抬
up
起头，我看
and
到
look
他，
up, and I saw him.
我说：“哎，怎么是你
"Oh, how come it's you?"
他就点点头，
And he nodded
就
his
指
head
着虚空。
and pointing to the sky.
我跟他讲
And I：“
好
told
的
him,，
我了解你的意思。
"Okay, I understand what you mean."
我在飞机上修的这个
So on the plane,
超度法，
I performed the Bardo deliverance to Bardo deliver him.
我回到台湾，
Upon arrival in Taiwan,
我就问
I asked that disciple,
他说已经生病死了。
and they said he was sick and died.
我说是什么时候？
When?
他告诉我
And they told me the time
我看到在飞机上看到他的时候，
was the time when I saw him on the plane.
说这个很奇怪，
That's very strange.
我并没有想到他，
I wasn't
我是
thinking
我
of him.
认得他，我当然他
I
是
recognize him. He's a disciple.
我回台湾弘法，
I was returning to Taiwan to propagate Buddha Dharma,
要睡觉
and
的
on
时
the
候看到
plane,
他，
just before falling asleep, I saw him kneeling right in front of me
用手指着虚空，
and using his hand to point to the sky.
了解他的意思。
I understood what he meant and performed Bardo
回
deliverance.
去以后问他不能
And
讲，
upon arriving, I discovered that he passed away.
就是在我飞机
And his time
坐
of
飞机
death was when I was on that plane.
他来找我，
He came to find me.
像这个事情，
So, like this kind of thing,
我们并没有刻意去想他，
we did not think intentionally,
但是他来，
but he came.
像这种不可思议的事情，
So, like this kind of inconceivable
就
occurrences
是妙明真心经显现的时候，
are
那个时
the
刻，
time or the moment
一种
of
一种
the
道教
wondrous, luminous, true mind manifesting, a kind of spiritual experiences, a
他不可能在飞机
kind
上
of，
他不可能在飞机上，但是他出现在飞
it's
机上，
not possible for him to be on the plane, but he appeared on the plane.
我只是用这个来比喻。
I just use this as an analogy. What is the wondrous, luminous, true mind? That at any time,
有特殊的情形出现，
there is extraordinary things happening, then it would appear.
而不是我们一般人可以想象得到。
It's not
一般人
something
现实的世界，
ordinary people
没有
can
机
think
票，
of.
你哪里能够上飞机啊？
In the normal world,
我怎么会
how
看
can you
你
get
看
on
得
the
那么清楚？
plane without a ticket? How could I see him so clearly? right in front of my seat. You're kneeling there. How could he get on the plane to find me? He must have his power too. And let me have the power to see you and then help you, but to deliver it. So the things about the Dharma bodies are a kind of manifestation of the wondrous, luminous, true mind. It is extraordinary. It's different. One day, when Grandmaster's Dharma bodies disappear, I believe that Guru Padmasambhava can appear. My mother can come. When I invoke her, she can also appear. It's the same. When I invoke Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Padmasambhava can appear in front of me all the same. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere. And also very rare and extraordinary. Oh, it's also very illusory. I can only use these analogies because other than this, there's nothing else. So Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda and to all in the assembly about the wondrous, luminous, true mind, and everybody is confused and still befuddled, not knowing what it is about. And after so much explanations, Ananda was still wondered, where is the wondrous, luminous, true mind? What does it look like? What is the form? What kind of thing it is? But it is not a thing. It has no form. It's neither big nor small. It's not big and it's not small. And you see it's not, but it is. But it is, but it is not. That's how it is. I don't lie. But truly, there are many illnesses. Just with the blessing on the head, they are cured. So how do we explain? There was one who got blessing for 100 times and still not cured, but there are others who just got the blessing once and recovered. What's going on? The surgeries were never done, and the problems disappeared. Twice, Indonesian disciples in the operation, they saw that the surgeon was Grandmaster. But I have never studied medicine, I'm not a surgeon. How can I perform surgery on you? But strangely, the doctor, when he took off the mask, and then they saw me, and then saw that's Grandmaster performing surgery on him. And it was a brain surgery. And then someone with the brain hemorrhage, there's blood clot. The wife was next to him, watching him in the hospital. And the wife was drowsing and saw me coming in, walking in, and then extended my hand onto his brain and took the blood clot and showed her, look, the blood clot, and then disappeared. And the next day, when the doctor examined, and the blood clot from the brain hemorrhage disappeared. Those were all manifestation of the wondrous luminous true mind. That's all I can explain. Om Mani Padme Hum.